Welcome to another edition of the Five Star Zone, the Week 7 instant reaction. You saw the games locally, what happened. And, well, Michigan, here's the good news. You're still Michigan. You're going out there. You are rolling, people. These games aren't even close. Indiana made it seem it was close with a trick play early in the game. They took a 7-0 lead. Then Michigan turned around and scored 52 unanswered points. Yeah, and it was probably about as easy as that was, that 52. No stress. JJ went out there 14 for 17. He got the job done. Balanced rushing attack. Hell, even Donovan Edwards scored a touchdown. Michigan, no pressure, no sweat. The only thing you have to do is just come out of these games uninjured. Your biggest test will come in November. But for right now, you're doing what good teams do to bad teams. You're destroying them. They're not in the game. They know they shouldn't even be on the field with you. And you're making sure that happens. You're seeing a complete game. I think 3 turnovers for Michigan. Michigan ended up getting 3 turnovers from Indiana. This is the type of game that you want to do. You don't want teams to think that they can be with you. You don't want teams to think that they can actually beat you, because they can't right now. Because right now you're a machine, and this machine is rolling, I believe, into that November 11th date with Penn State. That's when all of a sudden we're going to see it's going to be a much stiffer competition, because you play no competition right now, including next week. Let's hold that thought. As a matter of fact, if you're a Michigan fan, there's really nothing else to say about your team. You're just waiting for the Penn State game for validation that everything that you saw for these past couple of weeks is legit, is for real, that this team is ready to go back to the playoffs, that this team is ready to compete with the big boys in the playoffs. The good news, Michigan fans, is on November 11th, when you play Penn State, that's when you'll see that everything that you did at the beginning of the season will be legit. That's when it all gets validated, because right now, this is a time where, look, there is no dominant team, and you are one of the dominant teams. In years past, it was either Georgia or Alabama versus everybody else. I can't say that now. Now there's 4, 5 legitimate teams. Guess what? Michigan fans, you're one of them. You could win the national title this year. It's not a far-fetched thing. It's not, normally it's like, you're reaching. This ain't reaching this year. You guys are humming. You guys keep this thing going, and I see no reason why you could not claim the title. That being said, okay, if you're a Michigan fan, you'll probably you can take off and leave, or you'll enjoy this next part, because the next part is really what I like to call a family meeting for Spartan fans, because Spartan fans have to decide, what are we going to do with Nona, who's on life support? Are we going to keep this thing going, or do we just pull the plug? Yesterday's game against Rutgers was I'm not going to say the most embarrassing game that I've ever seen Michigan State play, because I've seen a lot of embarrassing games. But you've got to be kidding me. I've never seen a team up 24-6 going into the fourth quarter. It was 14 minutes and 48 seconds left in the game. And then a comedy of errors. You punted the ball away, but you had 4 men in the backfield. How you have 4 men in the backfield, I don't know. That to me, there's so many people to blame, but I'll get to the blame later. That leads to you have to kick it again, which was smart on Rutgers' part, because you never know where you can get a fumble. Oh, wait, you got a fumble. Shaughnessy fumbles this punt. Rutgers jumps on top of it in the end zone, and now you go from 24-6 to 24-13. Okay, no big deal. You're still up by double digits. Except for you panicked, except for this is where Michigan State melted down. This is where you see that there was no leadership. There's no leadership from the top all the way down to the players. Here's where one muffed punt should not doom your season. And it really did doom your season, because right now you can't make a bowl game. You had to win 4 games. This was one. You had to beat Rutgers. You had to beat Nebraska, you had to beat Indiana, and you had to beat Minnesota. That would have given you 6 wins, because you weren't beating Michigan, you weren't beating Ohio State, and you weren't beating Penn State. Now that you've lost this game, you've pretty much said either we have to upset one of those top 10 teams, spoiler alert, not going to happen, or you just throw the season away. And I think right now you're throwing the season away. Caden Hauser came out there and he was okay. And a lot of people were like, oh, we found our quarterback. I was like, no, I really didn't see a quarterback. I think he finished with 133 yards. He had some touchdowns. I guess because the bar was so low with Noah Kim, he didn't turn the ball over in the red zone. So you're thinking, okay, well, that's a recipe for Michigan State winning. And it was, except for the special teams just kind of botched things over and over. You had players out there fumbling the ball when they should have just gone down. And next thing you know, here we are. Right now, 2-4. You haven't won since Richmond. And I don't see a victory coming up this week. I see chum in the water for Michigan. I see Michigan on the precipice of an flat-out embarrassment. But maybe you need that. Maybe you need that embarrassment because maybe that will shake it up at Michigan State to know that, hey, guys, we need to do something and we need to kind of do something fast. Maybe you just need to let your fans know that you care. You let your fans know that you're here for them. Let your fans know that you see what's going on because right now it feels as if no one is watching. It feels as if no one cares. Plain and simple. But let's go back to the game. You literally lost the game. You were up 24-6 with 4 minutes and 48 seconds to go. And literally in 6 minutes and 27 seconds, you were down 27-24 before you could blink an eye, before you could go and run out to the mailbox and come back, before you could hop in the shower and get toweled off and come back to the TV set. This team was down. Why? Because for me, I'm not going to say the team quit. What I do see is I see 85 individuals out there. I see 85 free agents. I see 10 coaching free agents. I see people who don't know where their future is. I see people who don't know where they're going to be next. And they're just all kind of out there for themselves. If you look to the other side of the bench, Rutgers actually cared about each other. Rutgers banded together and Rutgers came back and got the victory. Michigan State melted down. One mistake led to two mistakes, led to just F it. And Menenge is just running free. And then later in the game, you just couldn't get a stop. They were just running the ball. And you could just see in the body language that this team was defeated. One muffed punt defeated this entire team. That tells me that there's not a lot of belief in this team. That tells me that, yeah, you're looking at 85 free agents and the entire coaching staff, free agents, substitute teachers. The players know there's no repercussions because the coaches are probably not going to be here. What are you going to do to me if I make a mistake? Everybody's out there playing for themselves. Nobody's out there playing for the team. I mean, it's to the point now I would even say just start Sam Levitt at quarterback, but it'd be unfair to put him in against Michigan because Michigan will beat the hell out of him. So it'll be Hauser. And then after Hauser loses that game, because rest assured, you will lose that game. Then you just hand the ball over to Levitt and see what you have. And then hopefully we'll get some news about what's going on with the coaching search because that's the only hope that Spartan fans have right now. It's gone. Yesterday took everything from you. The worst part about it, the last 3 games, you actually played well enough to win. Right now, it's possible you could be sitting here with 5 victories. Instead, 2 victories. That's where we are right now. Yeah. You had enough to beat you had more stats than Maryland. You turned the ball over. Iowa, you knocked the quarterback out the game. You had more stats than them. You turned the ball over and you lost. And yesterday, you had a 24-6 lead. You had Spartan fans actually saying, oh, maybe this Caden Hauser would be the change that we needed. It wasn't. You turned the ball over. And when you turn the ball over like that and you get penalties like that and you start short-arming, it's a lack of effort. It's a lack of focus. And yeah, that's where I come up to the whole free agency, where you're just out there playing for yourself. You don't want to get hurt, or you're trying to be the hero and you're trying to do too much. And the next thing you know, instead of just going down, if you're Alante Brown, you're spinning and you get hit and you fumble the ball. That's where we are right now. Even early in the game, you saw Hauser go off on 2 quarterback sneaks. Hell, he scored on 1. Late in the game, when you needed that first down, he slid. Didn't want to take the hit. Didn't want to go the extra effort. Didn't want to go the extra mile for his teammates. And you can say, well, he didn't want to get hurt. So you're losing. Great players put it all out on the line. Why? Well, to quote a phrase from the movie The Replacements, chicks dig scars. Okay. You go out there, you lay it all out. They're not doing that. This team, it's going to be a long ride. Why? You got Michigan coming up. I guess I could say this. If you're a Michigan fan and you really wanted to see a good game, I apologize. You're not going to see that good of a game. If you're a Michigan fan who want to see a bloodletting, well, congratulations. Welcome to Chum in the Water. It's there. Michigan State will turn the ball over. Michigan State will shoot itself in the foot. Michigan State will make a ton of mistakes, and Michigan will capitalize. But I do wonder if maybe this is needed, if maybe just getting embarrassed at home at night will be the thing that Michigan State needs to wake everybody up to say, okay, we fired Mel Tucker. And I think a lot of people in the administration just wanted Mel Tucker fired, but they didn't look at the ramifications. You abandon the team. The team is a rudderless ship. They have no leadership. Harlan was put in a situation where he was never going to win. And now that the team keeps losing like this, you can see the body language in everybody. How do you rally this team back from the devastating losses that they've had in the past few weeks? Oh, wait, we're going to play Michigan and we're going to wear the black jerseys. Here's a news flash. Spare everybody. Teams that go on 4-game losing streaks don't deserve black jerseys. You don't deserve any new type of jerseys. As a matter of fact, just come out there with your basic jersey and get ready for the loss. Because, let me see. Washington showed you what a top 10 team looks like. Actually, I think Washington should probably be about top 4 or 5. But they play on the other side of the country. Michigan plays in your own backyard. They're going to show you again what a top 5 team looks like. And here's the news flash. They don't care. They're going to embarrass you. Remember how good it felt, Spartan fans, when we all watched the beatdown of Devin Gardner, old number 98? It's going to be the antithesis of that this Saturday, where they're going to go after and tee off every quarterback MSU puts out there. I don't see how this team puts up a fight. I don't see how this team, I mean, the fans won't be in the stands. I mean, I've actively talked to season ticket holders who are selling their tickets because you don't want to be there. You don't want to watch that. I can't get mad at you. I can't blame you, because why would you want to? Why would you want to waste your time? Why would you want to have to get a hotel that night, late at night? Or why would you want to drive home that late to watch a team that, I'm not going to say quit, they're just out playing for themselves. They don't play for, they're not a team. They're individuals. They're free agents. Michigan's going to come in here and they're going to do what they're going to do. Harbaugh, honestly, I kind of want him to run up the score, because it will put the embarrassment on this university, on this administration, on this program. And you're going to find out, guys, what are we going to do? Because we're reeling. We suck right now. We're beyond sucking right now. What the hell is going on? And please, as I said before, do not, by no means, wear your black uniforms. Shelve those things. To paraphrase Mark Hollis years ago when the team was 3-9, and the very next year I was like, hey, you playing a game on Friday? And he was like, 3-9 teams don't earn and deserve Friday night games. And they didn't play a game. They played it that Saturday at noon. You don't deserve any more uniform changes. You don't deserve any more uniform reveals. You just kind of need to win a game to show that you actually care, because all the other stuff, that comes with winning teams. Newsflash, you're not a winning team. Newsflash, this is hot, flaming garbage. You better fix it. Actually, I don't even think you can fix it. Right now, your best bet is to go the way of Michigan in 2020 and just say the team has COVID and just sit the rest of this year out. Put a padlock. I don't see how you can rally this team, especially the team that you're about to play next is an in-state rival who hates your guts. They're an in-state rival who wants nothing more to put the final nail in the coffin. You got a team that knows we just played the quote-unquote easiest part of our schedule. Now we have to play Michigan. Now we have to play top 5 Ohio State. Now we have to play top 10 Penn State later on this year. And then we got to go on the road to Indiana, who, at this point, I don't know. Tell me which game you see that Michigan State can win. I bet Jeff Rieger that I'm like, Michigan State will win in one more game. I'm now starting to question. I may be losing that bet to Jeff Rieger. I don't know. 85 individuals, 105, including the walk-ons, coaching staff. all individuals. They don't know where they're going to be. Players don't know where they're going to be. They don't know if they want to come back. They don't know what the future of this program is. It's about time somebody steps up and let the people know what the future of this program is and what they have to look forward to. As far as a coaching search, I was all big on Urban Meyer. You guys know that. I also said something about Marcus Freeman. I'm to the point now where maybe I just want a head coach who can come in here, identify a quarterback or bring one with him, run a system built for that quarterback instead of trying to make the quarterback run your system. That, to me, is the recipe. I look at what Kalen DeBoer is doing out at Washington. He got Michael Penix, and he's running an offense that fits Michael Penix. That's what good OCs do. You don't make the player conform to your system. You conform to the player. You find out the strengths and weaknesses and plays that they like. That's what I'm looking for in the next head coach. Somebody with some foresight that can run for offense that's effective. Somebody who can come in here, identify quarterbacks, because let's face it, as much as we thought Tucker had this thing going, hey, keep chopping. You didn't identify a quarterback. Noah Kim, that was D'Antonio's quarterback. Your quarterback got out there in that game, didn't look special, didn't look great. Levitt, don't know what he can do, but that means Levitt was going to have to play against Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. That's probably a recipe for disaster. Find a coach who can identify a quarterback, come up with a system that makes winning plays, makes winning fun, that gives Spartan fans something to look forward to other than Midnight Madness. It's not that hard. Get off your ass, folks. Make this happen. Sensory reaction. I'll be back later on in the week with Howard Griffith. For now, hey, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep reviewing the 5-Star Zone. Tell your friends about it. Until then, I'm Rico Beard. Thanks for watching another edition of the 5-Star Zone.